So Redux to the Sock Opera coming in at number 5. Yesterday Once More by the Carpenters. It's a celebration of the late 50s and early 60s. Every sha-la-la, like every ram-a-lama ding-dong forever. Yes, yes. Yesterday Once More. It was a lovely record by Karen Carpenter. Karen Carpenter had this very warm, sweet, almost intimate voice, just reassuring to listen to. It's like listening to somebody who's a good friend of yours, Karen Carpenter. Yesterday Once More coming in at number 5, down from number 1 the previous week on WTBC's Top 30 survey the week of July 18, 1973. The song was written by Richard Carpenter and John Bettis, and fifth song that went to number 2 by the Carpenters. One their biggest, actually considered their biggest selling record worldwide, believe it or not. Yesterday Once More, biggest selling single in the UK. And one thing I want to mention about this record, a guy named Joe, his name was Joe Osborne. He played on this record. He played the bass guitar on this record. Joe Osborne of the Wrecking Crew. Joe Osborne, a legendary bass session player. Joe Osborne, in 1960, along with James Burton, I believe his name was James Burton, and a couple other guys, he was in Ricky Nelson's backup band. He played with Ricky Nelson for 4 years. He played on Traveling Man, one of Ricky Nelson's biggest hits, and he migrated to Los Angeles in 1964, and he joined the Wrecking Crew, the legendary. This is a group, a collection of crack session musicians in Los Angeles who played on a lot of the hits that emanated from the West Coast. For example, Joe Osborne, he was much in demand. He worked with producers like Bones Howe, who produced hit records by The Association and The Fifth Dimension. He also worked with Lou Adler, who was rolling out hit records by the Mamas and the Papas. He was producing hit records by the Mamas and the Papas. He played on sessions with the Mamas and the Papas, along with Hal Blaine, a session drummer, a legendary session drummer, considered one of the golden people one of the golden people of the Wrecking Crew, Joe Osborne. And I just found out that he played on this record, Yesterday Once More, by the Carpenters. Well, here it is. Here's the Carpenters at number 5 on WTBC survey the week of July 18th, 1973.